Alright, it's time for another Malphite game, and like the last one, I was able to pick Malphite into a counter, which one the enemy team had picked Aatrox, Shaco, and Draven, which two three characters that Malphite does surprisingly well against, because his E pretty much shreds any damage potential they may have. Nidalee is someone he does poorly against, but I would figure it wouldn't matter too much, and at least her attack speed boost on her allies would get nullified by my E. Hatting is probably the only big issue, and she will end up becoming an issue later. My team had picked Zed and Ryze and Lucian, and I figured, I figured the Malphite pick would complement him well with his initiation, because we tend to lack it. Nonetheless, right now I can't do much because Ryze had already died. The enemy Shaco, by the way, he was invading me, which is why I held the ward and then just placed it. And I don't know what he was trying to do here. I don't think, and Zed isn't really going to do much to Nidalee, so I get a chance just to power farm to level 6, which is fine by me. It becomes obvious that Aatrox has this warded because he just kind of backs off, and I don't really get to do much except one Q, which doesn't, add much to anything. So back to power farming. Once I hit level 6, I know I can pretty much gank any lane, though my target seems to be bottom lane, since my bottom laners are kind of having a rough time from the looks of it, or at least getting pushed against the wall or the tower. I'll mention this right now. The Lucian and the Thresh kind of become very insulting towards the game, mostly because they want me to engage certain fights that are beneficial to us. It's just a fact. It's better to engage intelligently than just force and engage, and you'll notice what I mean later during the fights. I just bring this up so you can pay attention to some of it. You can't see the chat, so you won't know what I'm talking about, so I'll just point it out. Anyways, I'm going to get level 6 with this blue buff, and of course, you'll be able to start, ganking. I don't know if the Draven has a flash or anything. I haven't been informed of it, and I didn't really pay attention, so my gank is going to be a little bit weirder here, because I had the feeling that maybe Draven would just flash if I used my ultimate or whatever. So Thresh goes in for the engage and manages to get Draven. I just go in, just start trying to get into the melee range and attacking him, not using my ultimate at all. Until he gets to a point where, he wouldn't have been able to see me unless he had a ward, so he wouldn't be able to flash. Notice that I waited until he was outside of the bush, because if I'm inside of the bush and I haven't attacked him and he's if I'm inside of the bush and he's outside of the bush, he couldn't see me, so he wouldn't be able to react to my ultimate. So, yeah, it turns out he didn't have flash, because I asked him. I was like, hey, did he have flash? Oh, no, he didn't burn it. And I would have been a lot faster and cleaner gank if I had known that. Anyways, the Aatrox has been very aggro against the Ryze, which, that's how he got first blood. So, without a ward, he pretty much became one of the easier ganks to murder. I have a Ryze teammate too, so it becomes very easy to catch up to him. So, I don't even know what that ward was for, so whatever, dead Aatrox. Now, this is kind of pretty much the definition of camping. He has no ward at all. He's also playing very aggro, and my ultimate is up. So I have the idea that if he comes in and wards it, he uses his Q to try to run away, I'll catch up to him and we'll just kill him again. Or right here, if he plays super aggro, then he just gets fucking killed. So that's kind of the definition of camping, knowing that he's got no choice but to either go up into the middle of the lane to push it back, or ward it. Oh, or face check warding it. If you're very paranoid, you just go and ward it from behind the cliff, and then just kind of, try not to get killed along the way. So that was the Aatrox pretty much being reckless and engaging without actually knowing where I was. Though I think he didn't think I'd be camping him, so... Anyways, I have a feeling they know I'm here, so I'm just kind of waiting around, not trying to force any engage. Plus, Shaco's in the area. Fortunately for them, their Shaco seems a lot smarter than I had hoped for. He goes around right now. Sorry for that odd breath. He goes around and actually doesn't face check this bush. He wards it, revealing me. I had a feeling they thought... I guess they thought I was there, and they decided to check me. It's a 3v3 mid right now. 2v2, and then Aatrox shows up. So I could have ulted right now when all three were here, but I'd have no one to respond to my offense. Zed was low in health and whatever. I ult the Shaco, hoping to kill him before Ryze gets here, so, the fight becomes cleaner. But Ryze gets here in time enough to pick off the Nidalee and severely damage the Aatrox. The Aatrox is going to lose his passive, and he's going to survive, but it works out fine for us. Though, if the Zed had a little bit more health, we could have easily picked up 3 kills there instead of just 1. Though we got Aatrox's passive, we got Nidalee's life, and we got a lot of other summoner spells. Alright, so, once again, the enemy team is kind of trying to get an objective. which is running around in circles. They could have just honestly taken this dragon. If they had paid attention, I wouldn't have had my ultimate, so there was no fighting potential between me and Zed to stop them, and they could have easily gotten a dragon and just waltzed away. But they got a little bit panicky, and you know, they got nothing. I punched a bear out. Fucking 50 gold from me. Then I get chunked by Nidalee spears. Right now, one chunk, then I go to mid lane, and I get chunked again. Right now, I want to get mid lane. And now I end up hitting a trap, and then she tries to sneak around and try to impale me. I hate Nidalee. You all know this. And Ciderhelm released a video a little bit ago about talking a lot of stuff about Nidalee, and a lot of people downvoted it. And honestly, a lot of people who downvoted her are pretty stupid. Nidalee's a terribly balanced champion. The way her kit works is just not fair, and it's not fun. She's not overpowered, she's just stupidly annoying. Riot has admitted that her kit is toxic because no champion should have that much safety and that much little... She has too much safety and she has got very little risk involved. You could argue that her spears early on take skill to land. Later on when you have like blue and mana and shit, that doesn't matter. You just chuck them, and if you miss, you don't lose anything. You never put yourself in a risky situation. And hell, even if you get caught, you can just easily waltz away and heal yourself and whatever. Yeah. She's too safe, and also she forces your team into a team composition you don't really want, where you know you have to siege and poke. She's not really that great in team fights compared to a lot of other choices you could have made. So yeah, terribly balanced champion. And I use this time to talk about it because there's pretty much nothing happening. Of course, now something is going to happen. We just chase down Draven and we put down wards, and I just get tired and I just use my ultimate, and then I let Zed finish him off so he can get the kill. All I want is the assist. So yeah. Right now, you can see the game is going our way, but it wouldn't have been much of a great upload if it was just a massive stomp without a lot of flashy stuff, huh? So, at this point now, the enemy Shaco and Aatrox are starting to devolve into a sort of split-pushing duo. Aatrox, no matter how many times he dies, he's going to keep split-pushing. And Shaco, he's just fucking Shaco. He's going to split-push all fucking day. So, that leaves a 3v3 between me, Lucian, and Thresh. Zed is going to be stopping this Aatrox. Well, Zed is going to be trying to stop the Shaco, and the Ryze is going to be trying to stop the Aatrox soon. Right after this kill, actually, which is actually not after this kill. Right now, we're going to push bottom lane and take it a little while. But you're going to see Aatrox. He's going to he's going to non-stop split push and Ryze, and is going to try to have to stop him. And it's going to come up to the fact that if one of the split pushers succeeds in killing their opponent, then there goes a tower and an inhibitor. If the 3v3 ends up dying, then there goes 3 towers, because the split pushers will be... I mean, the defenders against the split pushers will be overwhelmed. So, I am trying to make only intelligent initiations, or trying to get a pick. Soon enough, we go down bottom again. We're trying to find, you know, either a pick or pushing the tower. I have a red trinket now. Wait, no, I don't have a red trinket. Zed has a red trinket. Or somebody has a red trinket. I forgot who. And I'll soon buy one. I'd smite the fucking little trap because I hate it. Nidalee gets caught by the Thresh. Well, Thresh is incoming, catches off the Nidalee, throws his Q. Then I use my ultimate. She survives with a barrier flash. Jesus Christ. And then the Zed actually does something very stupid. He initiates trying to pick off the Nidalee. She has a Zanya's Hourglass, and you have an Annie to stun him. Then the Thresh decides, instead of pushing the tower, to just dive. He dives in, and there's really not much we can do here. It's like, I already burned my ultimate. We don't have any mana, and that just kind of causes us to die. So there. Like, I'm trying my best just to keep both of us alive, but it ends up costing, you know, getting us both killed. So that was a throw by the Zed and the Thresh. It was really stupid. Funny enough, Thresh blamed me. Just kind of throwing it out there. They begin to blame me for having pussy engages or no engages at all. So that's kind of my gripe in this. It's like, oh, I didn't do anything useful, apparently. Well, fuck them, because you'll see what ends up transpiring out of the smart engages versus the haphazard desperate engages. You can see the split pushing is kind of starting to get full blown. Shaco and Aatrox split pushing top and bottom. Either they switch around or whatever. On the other while, the rest of my team is kind of scattered because we really haven't gotten into the groove of what we're going to do. We're a full-on engaged team comp. However, we don't... Well, as a result of being a full-on engaged team comp, we can't really deal with kiting and split pushers, which is kind of what they are. I go top to see if I can just help Rise push Shaco off, but his traps distract me, and this allows Aatrox to continuously push down bottom lane. There's really not much I can do since now the Shaco's playing safely. With that in mind, the counter pick has been working out spectacularly. Of course, our engages aren't there, and that's that's been affecting our victory. But so here I go down bottom because Aatrox is split pushing. Then the enemy team pushes mid, and I get yelled at by my teammates for not initiating. I'm like, I wasn't even there, asswipes. So this kind of just ends up being their turret. I'm actually being asked just to engage. I'm like, there's no one to respond to some of my ganks. I mean, some of my initiates. Here's the thing is, even if you have a perfect initiation against 5 people, if you have no response from your teammates, no one else to follow up your engage, then it's just terrible engage. Like, after all 5 of them get stomped and get recovered and nobody of them was significantly hurt, then you get counter-initiated on and butt blasted. Like right here, we're my team is pushing down mid. Draven gets killed. That's fine. However, Lucian also died as a result, so there's pretty much nothing that can be done with that. Trading 1 for 1 or not killing at least one person when you initiate is kind of pointless. My Malphite's damage isn't that great enough that I can't go without securing somebody's death in the fight. And here's another reason why I don't want to initiate. Like, and this is kind of also why I hate Italy. The spear pretty much lands right on Lucian, and if I were to initiate it right on, let's say, Draven right now, Annie would drop Tibbers on Lucian's face, and then if Lucian gets picked off, then we wouldn't be able to fight at all. Like, they forget. They assume, my teammates actually assume, they're like, Malphite, you could kill them. I don't have damage. Malphite isn't like a really high damage kind of character. They're telling me initiate now, pussy. I'm like, I hit Draven, Annie dumps on your chests, and then you all lose. That's just how it's going to go down. The only way we'd win this is if Annie and Draven both get caught, and I have Rise or Zed actually, Rise or Zed to kill the CC character or Draven to get picked off like before anyone gets to respond. That's my idea. If Draven can be killed like immediately, or Annie can be killed before she gets her stun off, then we'll win any fight. Fortunately for us, we have red trinkets, and we're checking for any wards here, and we find out that this is not warded, and these two clump up right next to each other, and I perfectly initiate on both of them, and they pretty much get grinded to dust. And Annie was nowhere near the group, and I feel perfect about initiating on that. If Annie was there, she may have been able to just stun Lucian, and they'd run away. We'd have no chasing potential. So, thanks to the fact that Annie was nowhere around her, I initiated, we killed Draven, and then we killed Nidalee, and it all went perfectly. So, and now we got 3 towers out of this, and we got an inhibitor now, so we have a great advantage towards our team. The enemy team keeps pinging for Baron, apparently, because they feel like, that's the only chance if they have to win. My ultimate is back up, thanks to all the cooldown reduction I have. And Aatrox is still split pushing. He's trying to sneak about. The second Aatrox shows up down bottom, trying to see if he can get sniped an inhibitor. 2 of my teammates go down bottom to stop them, which in turn means the other guys are going to try to sneak Baron. Here's what I mentioned earlier. I have a Rise teammate showing up. He's fucking huge. I don't mind just initiating on Draven and getting myself killed, though of course I don't want to die. I don't deal enough damage. I get stunned and whatever, and I draw their fire. However, Rise shows up, and he just fucking sodomizes everybody with lasers. Draven gets a little too aggro for whatever reason, and that just puts him in range of Rise's rape train. So Rise just destroys Draven. He already destroyed everybody. And then Nidalee just gets obliterated. And then Lucian guns down the child in the back. So the enemy team gets wiped out pretty much with it's okay with my death. It's an ace, and my team is able to push out. I was hoping the Rise would eventually get involved in fights, and once he did, you saw how easy it went. It was really difficult considering all the split pushing and that being very effective against full-on engaged team comps. But honestly, I would have much preferred the Rise in every fight other than Lucian. But still, it doesn't matter. They got counterpicked. It was a good game, and we win. Hooray for Malphite.